Hey everyone, good evening and welcome to Project Offbeat, the podcast that helps you explore the unconventional career. Lahat sa atin probably alam na natin yung mga corporate careers dyan, right? Marketing, finance, di ba? Lahat tayo napagdaanan yan, right? But what we want to do in this podcast is to showcase the different careers as well. Give them some voice, right? Syempre because yung ginagawa naman nila is very, very fulfilling as well. So Matt, kamusta ka? I think one of our really pumped up episodes, no pumped up excitement. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling a little sentimental because, this is our last episode. Oh my God. Pero sobrang fulfilled rin ako kasi alam mo 'yun, full season of amazing guests. This morning I saw EJ, our previous guest, kind of win a bronze medal. So sobrang fun to take us on their journey and be part of that, no. Ayun.
Exactly right. I mean, guests can become friends for life, right? So I think that's what we really want to achieve, no? And para naman sa mga nanonood sa atin sa YouTube, right? Baka may na-notice na kayo na apat kami ngayon, no? And meron tayong napakagandang kasama right now. She's our correspondent. The name's Misha Segara, single to, no? And she will join us in this show today, no? To really talk about, her experience as well in VP Leni's campaign, and of course help around, no, in the show. So first time namin to mag-correspondent, guys. So hopefully, 'di ba? Misha, no pressure pero magiging exciting benchmark ka. All right. So anyways, guys, I'm sure if you've followed us through in Offbeat, you may have noticed na marami na kaming guests coming from different seasons, no, that supported VP Leni's campaign, right? Most notably, we interviewed Congressman Irvin Alcala and Jack Ramos of Leni Tayo, no, which is one of the largest volunteer organizations for Leni in the Quezon province. We also interviewed the great historian Ambeto Campo, wherein she compared, Leni Robredo to Cory Aquino, 'di ba? In terms of the presidential votes at back then. We also interviewed actor Kel Kiwa, 'di ba? Who is the leader for the Youth Vote for Leni before, right? And they all talked about Leni being this important figure in their lives, right? And tonight, we also have another one of those supporters, no, and probably the biggest one yet in the supporters of VP Leni. In today's episode, we're featuring the off-beaten career of a singer slash songwriter. We may all know what a singer is. Those that are gracing us with their voices, yung mga sayaw nila in the stage, right? And who we idolize. But in essence, these are the songwriters that give essence to the song. Sila yung nagsusulat ng mga structure, yung mga chords elements, right? And lyrics to a song.
Our guest today is the head writer / producer of FilpMusic Productions, who are well known to be the agency behind Sarah Geronimo's viral hit Tala, who were #1 in the charts in iTunes and Apple Music last 2022. She is also the singer-songwriter behind then VP Leni's team campaign song Rosas, which brought out the patriotism in all of us.
Our guest today, without further ado, is the wonderful and inspirational Nica del Rosario. She joins the Project Offbeat podcast today to talk about the career of being a singer slash songwriter. Welcome to the show and good evening, Nica. How are you doing tonight?
Hi guys, good evening. Hi Lance, hi Matt, hi Misha. I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing good also.
Grabe. I mean, from watching you in Facebook streams, right? From watching you in YouTube, I didn't expect that you're such a soft spoken kind of person, Nica. It's really great to see you in a different light in this episode, no. Nica, I think I just want to really para sa mga co-offbeat natin, no. Makikita niyo naman when Nica tweets, 'di ba? Parang, and then even when reaching her out in LinkedIn and Twitter, no, and then email, no. I think she's like one of these most down to earth people, at least for coming from her stature, right? Nakikwento ko nga kay Matt, no, Nica, kwento ko lang sa kanya na bakit ang bilis mag-reply nitong si Nica. Even in email, whenever I email her, within 10 minutes she replies, no. Daig pa kami ni Matt, no, in our emails. So I think para sa mga ka-offbeat natin, when you see Nica, right, you see someone that's very down to earth. Anyways, Nica, so dami na naming sinabi, no, but I guess why don't we start with talking to us about what you do for a living or what you do for a career as a singer/songwriter.
So I am part of FilpMusic Productions. So I'm a junior partner there. So what we essentially do is create sound solutions for different entities, for artists, for companies. So anything that requires sound, we can do for them. So we produce songs, we make jingles, we do scoring for commercials or shows or films. So anything that has sound or music in production we can do. And we also do music publishing. So essentially we take care of songs of artists signed with us or kahit hindi. Parang essentially music publishing is like if your song has a manager. Parang if you have a manager, your song can also have one. Parang we're there to help protect its rights, na to help negotiate pag if someone wants to
Ooh.
use it. So
Mhm.
ako personally, I am the head songwriter in FilpMusic. So my main job is to write melody and lyrics for different songs and jingles, sometimes for other artists also. So that's a general
Yeah.
overview of what we do.
Nika, why did you specialize on being a songwriter, the head songwriter at that, for such an agency? Ang dami pang ibang roles dyan, right? But
Yes.
why are you specifically in this spectrum?
Siguro kasi in terms of my skill set, I can do the other stuff naman. Like I can produce, I can arrange also, I can sound engineer. But ito talaga yung what I was passionate about even in college pa lang. I really loved writing. Like when I didn't know how to play guitar yet, parang I was writing for our school paper nung high school, mga ganun. So parang me choosing songwriting as a career is just a way of me like marrying two things that I love, which is writing and music. So
That's
um
the dream.
so
Di ba?
yeah, thankfully FilpMusic saw that naman and
Mm.
parang they chose to have me specialize in writing. So
Siguro, Nika, I just want to ask, no, when you graduated from college, what was your course when you graduated from college?
I was a comm major. So medyo medyo malayo, but I specialized naman in image and sound production, which was
Mm.
the closest I could. Kasi no, when I was in high school, I dream school talaga mag-Ateneo,
Mm.
and the closest I can get to like music there is theater arts or
Oo nga eh.
or comm. And di naman ako like yun nga, I wasn't super a performer type of person talaga na
Mm.
I didn't like facing people so much. Parang even if I performed in high school and stuff like parang what I enjoyed pa rin was writing and making music and stuff
Mm.
like that. So yun, I decided to pursue comm na lang. And
Pero
this
parang ano ba? Parang balak mo talaga pumasok ng music? Like
ah
even back in college? Or was it kind of like a gradual thing?
it was a very gradual thing. Parang nung high school, I decided for myself na I wanted a music related job, but I wasn't sure
Mm.
because I didn't wanna teach naman and I don't know how to start. Like parang at that time I wasn't sure. So
Mm.
parang medyo hindi ko masyadong pinag-isipan yung course ko, in short. Parang I
Yeah.
just like I'll figure it
Don't
out. Parang gano'n.
Yeah.
And
Don't
then
we all? Don't we
yeah.
all? Di ba?
So hard to
Agree.
choose. Yeah, it's so hard to choose parang what you wanna do with your future at that age. Kasi parang I haven't
Exactly.
figured anything out yet at that time. So, swerte na lang na it's still kind of related. Like, it's still in media and I got
Yeah.
to learn other fields din naman. Like, I took photography classes, I took film classes, parang, so it's still fun.
Yeah. Nika, hindi ka ba kinabahan nun when you thought of really, gusto ko mag-music, di ba? Hindi ka
Mm,
ba kinabahan nun na, alam mo yun, you won't be earning as much, di ba? Especially in the Philippines, right? Parang,
yeah.
you have to
Mm.
really expose that na parang, hindi masyadong supported ang musicians as much as we'd like to.
Yes.
Unlike sa Korea, it's an entire industry.
Yes.
Right? Bakit dito sa Pilipinas, may swerte ng, di ba? May swerte
Yeah,
kailangan
yeah.
nakasama.
Para I think yung problem din kasi is we don't really kasi yung Korea they treated music and entertainment there as an investment. and as something that
Mm.
can help their country, na parang it promotes tourism. Kasi parang it really did help, na parang nung nag-boom yung K-pop, everybody suddenly wanted to go to Korea. Everyone wanted to learn about the country. So parang that's why it thrived. Kasi when pag may pera and may budget, more people wanna ano. So with me personally, it was a worry, and as someone who has a lot of anxiety, parang it was there. But I guess it was just something I really love doing, and it was more of I didn't see that I had a choice. Parang I couldn't, once I figured it out, once I realized that this is what I wanted to do, parang I couldn't imagine doing other things, and I don't know, parang I just kept going, and I honestly gave myself a deadline na parang pag 25 na ako and wala pang when I started pursuing it, pag 25 na ako and I'm still stuck where I was when I was 21, I'll think of other careers. Like I briefly considered being a vet because I love animals, pero but yun, things worked out naman thankfully eventually for me. So
On that, Nika, curious lang ako kasi ay parang naramdaman ko din yan before when I was in high school na gulong-gulo with my course. So, I just wanted to ask, parang meron bang influence yung parents mo on what you chose? Or natuwa ba sila with your or may mga moments na hindi okay?
meron talaga, honestly. Parang, I mean, I'm from a Chinese family. So, meron, like, I wanted to take music production courses in ano mo yun, in other schools. First, parang my parents were like, if I nag-applyan at I passed Ateneo na kasi, so parang like they saw it as like it's one of the best schools out there, and parang they weren't super comfortable with the idea of me taking a purely creative course, parang ganun, I
Exactly.
guess.
Laging
So
ganun.
our compromise was communication. So parang okay, like yun nga, so hindi ko talaga siya like it wasn't a careful decision, to be honest. Parang mas pinag-isipan ko pa what school like there was a while na where I briefly considered going to LaSalle na lang, kasi nauna lumabas yung results ng LaSalle, and I knew a lot of my friends were gonna go to LaSalle, and we were a small school, so when the Ateneo results came out, I think 4 lang kaming nakapasa, and yung 3 lang yung gustong mag-Ateneo. So parang, and you know how when you're a senior in high school, parang you're attached to your friends, so parang
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
so like magdasal na lang kayo. But although my course in LaSalle is also comm, so parang my parents were definitely a factor. But since I didn't feel strongly about what course I should take, hindi naman siya masyadong like conflict. So parang as in I was thinking na parang mag-music prod kaya ako here, is parang
Yeah.
hindi, mag-comm ka na sa atin. Okay.
Right. I mean, considering all of this, Nika,
Mhm.
'di ba? Sinabi mo nga, 'di ba? Parang wala naman masyadong music courses sa Ateneo, 'di ba? The compromise was ABCom, no?
Yeah.
Wala bang regrets na nag-Ateneo ka? Yun
Oh,
muna
wala,
bago we go
wala.
to the. Yun, no?
Sobrang wala. I mean,
Ang bilis nun,
I
Ang bilis
love
nun,
it.
No, because like I
Usually
love,
is
as in wala akong like school spirit to be like sa UAAP and stuff like that. Parang but like I loved being in Ateneo. It was one, as in parang ang cliche na, you know how Rizal said it was his best years. It really was. Parang I discovered so much about myself in Ateneo. It shaped a lot of my beliefs. Parang it made it, parang kasi it's in your formative years, parang your environment affects you talaga, like who you spend time with and ano yung tinuturo sa'yo. Parang I didn't learn a lot to help me with my job, but I learned
Even as a
lot.
songwriter?
Yeah, kasi wala naman, especially before, I'm old. I mean, I graduated 2011. So, nung time na yun, there were barely any music electives. Parang, I took all of the possible music electives I could take. I took Philippine music. I took radio production. So, parang, basta lang related to music, but none of those actually helped me. Pero now, meron ng music production electives, may songwriting electives na. So, nainggit ako sa students now, but it's great that, they're, inaano nila yan. Parang, pinaprosper nila yung those fields. But yeah, I love being in Ateneo. I met lifelong friends there, and I never regretted taking a course that's not related at all to my job, kasi yun nga, it shaped who I am naman today, and I think that's more important than like who I am as a person is more important than what I do for a living. So
Nika, para napapansin ko na like ever since you went through high school to college, parang mukhang set na set ka na talaga to pursue some sort of musical career. Even if you didn't figure it out, you took all the electives, you took all the music
Yeah.
electives. It was more of like this innate desire na, yo, I have to do this, even if parang
Yeah.
even if you don't figure it out, like you still want to do, you still would have done it.
Yeah, I think it was an innate desire. Parang I knew that it was gonna be hard because yun nga, in this country, it's not really like a celebrated profession, and I wasn't actually sure how to start. I just parang in my head which is uncharacteristic of me because yun nga, I have a lot of anxiety. So parang I usually plan things talaga, and I don't like leaving things up to like the air. But with
Yeah.
but with things, I guess with things I'm really passionate about, parang with music, I just knew I wanted to do it, and then I'll just figure it out every step of the way. So
Yeah.
I didn't have like a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan. Parang whatever comes, I'll just figure it out.
Nika, I guess through all of those years, through kind of like creating your musical identity, how would you describe your yung style of music mo, or how you kind of create your songs and whatnot? How would you describe yourself as a singer-songwriter?
I'm a very emotional person. So I guess that translates in my music. Parang I
Mhm.
don't siguro my the closest genre-wise is parang indie alternative, indie folk ganon. But I usually write based on like it's an emotion based talaga. Parang I guess that's why parang music is the one thing I don't really think so much about. I use my intuition and my feelings
Really?
and my experiences as opposed to everything else I do in life. Like I mean, when we go on trips, I have 3 hotels on hold. Free cancellation. Like, ganun ako kas like anxious and thorough with other things. But with music, parang, I mean, like just for as an example, with Rosas, I wrote Rosas without a plan or without any intention or objective. I just wrote it because I felt like it and because it just happened. So I guess I think it translates naman to my sound and my lyrics na parang
Yeah.
what I guess what I value most in my work is it has heart, because my passion for this field and for this job, I hope na yun nga, it translates to the songs I write.
Yeah, that's very interesting, no? Kasi ito walang BS to, no? But when we're listening to Rosas, so iniisip namin na parang siguro may philosophical meaning underneath this, no? Hindi nga kasi parang yung mga lyrics niya is parang damang-dama mo eh. Alam mo yun,
Yeah.
kunwari sa Ateneo, para sa mga ka-offbeat natin, no? Sa Ateneo kasi we have this exercise pag sa philosophy, bawat salita ay talagang inaaral mo
Yes.
yan, no? Dinadissect mo yan. So kala ko rin may ganun na kwento yung Rosas. But then, here's Nika telling us na, ano lang yun, emotion ko lang yun. Or
Yeah. Kaya
it just came to me.
it was so funny na merong, like there was this tweet going around for a while na parang, like somebody, like there's this guy who tweeted na parang Rosas is great, but it perpetuates something capitalism or whatever. And
Ala.
like, there's this, meron siyang thread explaining why and how. Tapos parang, when I was reading it, like, hindi ko siya maintindihan. Like, his
Yeah.
analysis, kasi parang, he used a lot of big words. Then to
Yeah.
like, I guess parang to show that I'm so smart, and parang like I don't know, parang nabobobo na ba ako, and like I don't understand what he's trying to say, but I'm pretty sure it's not right because none of these concepts I don't know. Like I don't know a lot of, like I don't know I barely passed eco in college. So well, it's just funny. Parang there was also like a conspiracy theory that Tala there's a hidden message about communist China or whatever. So
Oh, sheesh.
Gosh, oh my
like
gosh.
parang like people have so much time in their hands. And like yun lang, it's just funny because I don't really have a lot of my songs is about what people feel and how
Yeah.
people feel in their lives. Just that's how music was to me, na parang when I feel something and I hear a song that, you know, describes how I'm feeling, there's this magic to it that, you know, that only music
Ganda.
can produce. So
Nico, would you say yan ba yung pinaka-difference ng isang singer sa isang songwriter? I remember we read one of these interviews that you had. Someone asked you, di ba, medyo nalulungkot ka ba kung sumisikat sobra yung singer sa lyrics na sinulat mo or sa chords na sinulat mo, di ba? Is that the difference? Yung mga singer, you get the full package once you watch them, once you hear them. But as the lyrics go, ang daming pwedeng interpretations, ang daming pwedeng paglaruan ng tao. Do you think that's a main difference in a singer and a songwriter?
I suppose kasi like the songwriter creates something from nothing,
Mm.
which is completely different from what a singer does, which is to interpret what this creation is and make it their own. So, like, to answer your previous question, when hindi ako nalulungkot at all when a song takes off and I didn't sing it. Quite
Wow.
contrary, that gives me some sort of fulfillment kasi my goal as a songwriter is to tell a story regardless of who tells it and regardless
Ganda.
of how it's told. And if they find other interpretations from I mean, even the capitalism thing in Rosas and the communist China thing in Tala, I mean, I on some level I'm flattered that they get something like that from that. Kasi I mean, it's if it becomes a point of discussion, then that was the goal. Because the goal of the goal of creating these songs is for the songs to be there for people, no matter what capacity. And I think it's the same as screenwriters and actors. And because my fiance is is a theater actor, and I'm such a fan of how
Yeah.
she studies scripts and material, and she makes it her own. And when when you see actors do dialogue parang in a way
Yeah.
you couldn't
Yeah.
imagine, and they make it their own, that's an entirely different skill, and both are very important. So yeah, I think that's the difference between the two.
Parang tandem talaga sila eh. No?
Mm.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Between a singer and a songwriter.
May preference ka ba from songwriter or singer? Parang since you've done both, diba?
May love-hate relationship ako with singing and performing kasi like I love the feeling of making music and and singing. I don't love that there are people watching me. It's like I'm very very introverted talaga, like, which is why I pursued being a songwriter first, or primarily. Parang my happiest when I'm performing is when I'm jamming with my friends, and it's like
Yeah.
in someone's house.
Mm.
And I also performed with one of my partners in Flip as a karaoke band in bars in BGC, and that was fun kasi konti lang yung tao, and some people would like come up and sing with us. The singing on stage with thousands of people, that wasn't fun for me. Parang that really was something I felt like I needed to do. Kasi parang
Yeah.
when the rallies were getting bigger and bigger and the peak was like 1 million people, and everyone was
That's
saying
crazy.
it must feel so
Yeah.
fantastic, it must feel so
Yeah.
amazing for you that you're singing there and people are singing it back. I mean, the
Oo.
singing it back, of course, it's like, oh, parang wow, it's overwhelming, but the standing there and and knowing that all of these people are looking at you, and if you mess up they're all gonna see. Parang hindi ko na nga iniisip yung live streams kasi like out of sight out of
Yeah.
mind na yun. But like especially the Pasig rally was just a blur. Parang when I try to look back at it, I don't remember much. I just remember that I was so scared that I was gonna mess it up because it was the first time we were performing
Yeah.
Rosas, and Ma'am was right there in between me and Gab, and yun nga, that was the first time we were singing it live. So parang
Oh,
they were like, "Oh, how did it feel? How did it feel to sing it when she was right there?" And it's like I was horrified and so
Yeah.
scared. And yeah, parang when like I didn't enjoy it, which is sad because it was like a once in a lifetime thing, but like I was just
Yeah.
so scared the whole time.
I mean, may napanood ako isang video mo, Nika, that you were singing Rosas with Vice Ganda.
Yeah,
I mean,
isa pa
alam mo
yun.
naman, di ba, pag
Like,
bumirit si
that was
Vice,
My
pag
God,
bumirit si
that-
Vice, gumaganon pa siya eh, di ba? How was
Yeah,
that?
this-
How was that?
That was the 1 million crowd, I think. That was the meeting de Avance in Makati. And they buti na lang they told me about Vice like the day itself or the day before. It was super last minute. Parang that kind of work because I didn't have time to like dwell in it or like overthink it. Kasi Gab couldn't make it talaga because she was attending her best friend's wedding, which she
I
promised
see.
like a year before. So parang she
Right.
couldn't let that go talaga. So yung pivot nung team, I guess, was to bring someone else to sing it with me, and I didn't know it was gonna be Vice Ganda. And
Vice
parang,
Ganda, no?
like, but I don't know, parang that was also a blur. Kasi
Yeah.
I mean, parang it was quite an experience, and I'm very very grateful for it, and I'm very grateful that Vice Ganda like took the time, said yes for first and foremost, and then took the time to learn the song, and nagre-rehearse pa
Yeah.
kami, tas like they were saying na parang gusto ko tong practicein natin to kasi gusto ko to gawin ng justice because everybody knows the song. And
Grabe,
yun
grabe.
nga, it was an experience, but leading up to that, akala ko himatayin na ako
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
nerves.
Yeah.
So,
And you were like, Vice was like wearing this dress and tapos hindi ka naka-campaign t-shirt lang.
I was wearing my linya-linya shirt, like the one that had my name. So parang that I love. I mean, I love the fact that I can get away with wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
kasi parang I did not envy, yun nga, sila Vice and other performers who have to like, kailangan sobrang
Yeah.
naka-outfit, sobrang naka-makeup. Just like that reduces some of the stress na parang, my only worry is what shirt do I wear today?
Yeah.
Like, which pink shirt do I wear for this ride? Which is
Ang ganda. Nika, I think we have been talking so much about the the rallies and whatnot. No, could you tell us how did it come about you being picked to write about VP Leni's campaign song? Did you know that it was her campaign song, or did it just evolve to it? Paano kayo napili?
It wasn't a campaign song talaga. It was a funny story. Parang it was all like random. Parang kasi I have one of my best friends, like my blockmate from Ateneo. He works for mom's legal. He's a lawyer and he works for mom, and he also works for Attorney Chel Jokno's legal team also. So parang we were just having this conversation na parang, would you, I mean, if given the chance, would you volunteer to write a jingle for mom and for Attorney Chel? And sabi ko, of course I would. Parang I'd do it for free. And that was around the time when people were, like, wala pa nag-a-announce and everything. It was all hypothetical. And nabanggit ko lang sa partners ko sa Flip na parang, I mean, it's, if we ever get a chance to write jingles for these people, I am willing to volunteer. Like, I didn't want to, like, alam mo yun, parang pressure them into saying the same. Parang I'm just saying, if I can do it for free, parang. So that was in their heads already. And si Direk Nolan, one of our partners in Flip also, he was getting these Let Leni Lead stickers from Sir Edwin Lasherda. That was how they started. They were talking. They knew each other. Kasi si Direk Nolan produced materials from Mar Rojas' campaign before. So they knew each other na. And it was just, yun nga, they were just having a conversation about these stickers na black and orange pa nga because there was nothing. Like, there was no theme. There was nothing. Parang, and she hasn't announced it yet. So parang,
right.
So Direk Nolan brought up to Sir Edwin na parang, sir, if you need other things from your movement, because he was spearheading the Let Leni Lead movement, which is essentially parang calling for ma'am to lead. And
yeah.
He was like, and he was actually we are releasing these videos soon. Like, it would be great if you could write a jingle.
Grabe.
And parang, so Direk Nolan was like, yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll volunteer. Kasi he knew that I was willing to volunteer. And yun nga, he called me na parang, remember when you said that you can volunteer? Well, here. And at the same night, we met with Sir Edwin and the Let Leni Lead team. And the catch was we had 2 days to write it and produce it because they were
my God.
naka-schedule na yung pag-release ng video. So, essentially, like, their brief was, it had to be dancy, and it had to be upbeat, and it had to, like, introduce who ma'am was, what she's done, what she can do. Because at that time, apparently her name awareness was like at single digits yung percentage.
Talaga?
A lot of people knew. Like, ang alam lang, a lot of people knew her as the vice president na pinag-iinitan ng gobyerno. That was it. They didn't know about what she's done, how she's helped in the typhoons, how she's helped in the pandemic. So, it was a call to, like, for her to run. Like, it's essentially saying that if you do decide to run, here we have a jingle. like it's here, and parang it's also to reintroduce her to people na parang yun nga, this is kaya if you listen to the lyrics of kay Leni Tayo, there's no mention of voting or president or campaign. It was just saying that she's a great leader. So yun, we had 2 days, and that was like nagsa-surge ata nun eh. So we all lived in the same condo building, me and my partner. So we were all just talking sa messenger with the producer. So my co-composer produced the music for it, but he didn't live with us. So talagang nagba-back and forth lang kami sa Google Drive. And we didn't have anyone to sing it because it was nagsa-surge. So ang ending, parang it was me and my fiance, si Justine and Jelly, who was our CEO, who was also a lounge singer. So parang it was, none of us sang upbeat songs. Parang I played my guitar, Justine's a theater actor, Jelly's a lounge singer, and we just always parang, it's fine, it's a placeholder. It's a draft thing na parang eventually if she decides to run, we can have all these celebrities sing it. And then si Matt, our producer, was like, hindi rin siya happy with his beat. Like, he wanted to make it better, but we had no time.
Yeah.
And so parang, it's fine, it's
Grabe.
fine, it's a placeholder. Like, that first rap, yung kay Leni Robredo, that was a placeholder. We were supposed to get someone, like a rapper, to do a verse. Kaya siya paulit-ulit. Kasi I didn't know how to write rap lyrics.
Hey,
So
but
like,
it ended
yung placeholder na yun, naging final,
Yeah,
ano?
that was, so parang,
Yeah.
we were semi-horrified na parang when she ran, and we were telling Sir Edwin na parang, do we redo it now? We can get all these celebrities. So parang, no, this is fine. This is what we're doing. This is
Yeah.
what we released, so we're sticking to it. So that was how that happened.
Yeah. Grabe, no? And I bet during that time, hindi mo naisip na it would, soar this much, di ba?
Yeah.
Parang, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, everyone's like singing it, right? And I've heard it around restaurants as well. They've been playing it around. Grabe, as in, it's like a global song now. Di ba?
It was I
Yeah.
knew it was gonna be important because it was like, I've always been a fan of Ma'am, even when she was VP
Yeah.
and she was running. So I knew it was gonna be important. But I knew it was gonna be a jingle, and that was that. I didn't think it was gonna chart. I didn't think we were gonna have to perform it.
Yeah.
Which is why parang I didn't, I mean, if I knew I was gonna perform it with Justine and Jelly, I would have made the melody a lot lower and a lot easier to sing. Because I didn't think that we were gonna have to like perform it over and over. But yeah, we had barely any expectations because all I imagined that it was gonna be played in like, alam niyo yung mga caravan like places na yung mga dumadaan pag umaga tapos nagba-blast ng song. I figured that was it, and it was gonna be played in commercials and radio in the radio, and that was that. So that was like, you know, it exceeded our expectations by so much talaga.
Nica, question, no? If it were not for this campaign, would you have seen yourself performing in front of thousands
No.
of people?
I would not. I mean, maybe someday, parang it's just a pipe dream naman. Malay mo, like I make it as a musician, I make it as a singer-songwriter, and like sometime in the far future it happens. But I didn't think it was gonna happen like this, and I didn't think it was gonna happen so soon
So soon.
and
Yeah,
so
yeah.
abruptly. So I love that it was because of this campaign, and it was because of Ma'am. And I mean, if it weren't for her, Rosas wouldn't have become like this. Or kay Leni Tayo, it made
Right.
her name's
Yeah.
literally in the song. So parang if I mean, in my head, if I had to like face my horrible stage fright and perform in front of thousands, I mean, it was an honor that it was for this campaign, and it was
Yeah.
for something bigger than me and who I am as an artist. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, may nabasa nga ako isang headline, Nika, that I think you mentioned in one of these interviews that that campaign changed your life, right? And
Yeah.
could you talk to us about that? I think what's very evident right now is that changed your life because you would have never, sang in front of that many people. And now I see your IG stories. I think you're doing gigs already
Yeah.
with a couple of people, diba? With a couple of singers as well, right? Can you talk to us about, how that moment or how that campaign changed your life?
There are bigger things, like, I would never imagine that I would sing with Vice Ganda, let alone sing a song I wrote in front of 1 million people
Oh my gosh.
while Leni Robredo was standing there. Parang that's like a scenario na parang panaginip lang siya. I mean, I would never imagine meeting all of these. One of my inspirations talaga was the 3Ds, Ebe Dancel, Janoy Danao, and Bullet Dumas. I met all of them at one point during the campaign. Yun nga yung goal, magpa-picture, like, para sa Infinity Stones. May picture ako with the three of them. And parang, they were saying na parang, sulat tayo ng songs. Parang, I would never imagine, like, I mostly stayed behind the scenes. I released one EP noong 2016. And that was because I was, like, parang, like, it was just a dream. Parang gusto ko lang siyang, like, sa bucket list item, ganun. Parang, after that, I was okay na. Like, I released my EP, that was my bucket
Grabe.
list item, and that was that. Parang, so those are the big things. The smaller things were like, minsan, like, I would get recognized when I would go to mall, which, like, hindi naman dinudumog or anything. But, like, I mean, like, nakapila ako like, magbabayad ako ng parking and somebody comes up to me and asks for a picture. Mga ganun.
Oh my God.
And it also, I guess, shows how this campaign affected so many people. And
Yeah.
parang iba talaga yung effect niya. Kasi, like, I think who I am and what my songs are remind them of the campaign. And parang just the other day, nagpa-ENT kami ni Joss sa may Quezon Ave, like, sa Capitol Med, and we got hungry, so we ate in the Figaro in front of it, and we were eating. And parang like, one of the owners was like, oh, parang, here's a chair, you can put your bags here. And parang, okay, maybe they're just so nice. And so parang when we were eating and I took my mask off, Rosas started playing while we were eating.
Wow!
So
Oh
parang,
man!
Wow.
Malamang
na-awkward na
coincidence lang.
sinadya
Coincidence
ba
lang.
nila to? Or like, so parang I was so awkward. I was eating my corned beef and parang,
Oh wow.
hindi ko alam, like, are people watching me if I should react? But like, so after a while, somebody came na and gave us cheese bread. And the owner, si Ma'am Linda, who's so sweet, parang she was like, you're Nica, right? And parang, this is a kakamping establishment, and and parang, thank you for everything you've done, and thank you for visiting. So parang, it really shows the influence din that ma'am gave, na parang shared to all of us, and parang we were all affected by it. And this campaign talaga was fueled by love and malasakit for other people. So, like, it's parang yun nga, it hasn't disappeared. I still feel the effects of it, like yun nga, like that. And people coming up to me, and there was a guy in the mall the other day na, alam mo yung mga nag-aabot ng flyers. So he was coming up to me and we were getting ready to run away. Or like, we weren't making eye contact. It's like, I don't like people. So parang, like, I don't like interacting with people a lot because I get anxious. So parang I wasn't making eye contact. So parang he was like, sorry ma, I'm not trying to offer you anything. I just wanted to say I was a fan and kung pwede mo ako magpa-picture. So I felt so bad for like trying to run away from. But yun, those are like, yun nga, small things. But like, I mean, those I don't mind so much. I mean, I'm always grateful and happy to take pictures with people. Kasi parang, some people would tweet na parang, I saw you eating there, or like, nakita ko kayo nagde-dinner and I didn't want to say hi kasi like, I wanted to respect your personal space, and I would say na parang, just say hi next time. I mean, I don't really mind it.
Yeah. How do you react when you see these comments? I've seen a lot of it in different variations. Now, when they say this is the music or this is the song that keeps me hoping even if natalo si VP Leni. Puro ganun, no? Puro in that cycle na, I don't know, baka pinapakinggan pa rin nila hanggang ngayon kahit talo na siya, di ba? Iba na yung admin natin, di ba? What do you feel when people react to it that way?
Alam mo, Nica, wait lang. Just to share, no? I have like an emotional story to this also. Kasi I remember like the last, yung parang, I guess, ito yung Thanksgiving party ni Leni. Tapos nasa Ateneo siya. Tapos when you guys sang, of course, feel ko hindi lang naman ako yung naiiyak at that point. Pero
gumagano na kami, oh. Gumagano na kami. Nakakit na namin.
And it's not only because I think Ateneo also lost on that day. Pero
Correct.
True.
Pero I think there was something about your song that, that related or resonated with so many people. Parang, what do you think is about Rosas that, resonated with so many people?
Yeah.
I think,
bakit may hope, no? Diba? It fuels hope, eh.
It's a multitude of factors. Parang one, because like, I am one of those people who were super, super inspired by what Ma'am Leni stands for and who she is. Because I'm honestly, like, to be perfectly honest, I was very apolitical before all of this happened. Like, parang when Pinoy won, we were in Canada and we didn't vote. And parang when she was elected VP, I found someone who, parang posible palang magka-politician who just wants to help. And you can see it na parang she just wants, like, she has so much love and like so much care for the people in this country. And you can feel it. And I'm one of those people who felt it. the thing is, I wasn't the only one. There were so many more people, and I'm pretty sure like this song established a connection between me and everybody else who feels the same way that I do. And because this song was fueled by her and what she's done and what she continues to do for us. And parang I didn't plan for it to happen, or I didn't do it on purpose, but I was so affected by who she was and how much I wanted to help her in this campaign. I think the song represents who she is, and I think that's why it has parang it like people formed an attachment to it kasi parang yun nga, I mean I got into this field because I believe in the power of music. And if she can embody, like if a song can embody her, syempre like they'll be attached to that song. And memories of the campaign that that made us all want to be better people is also attaching a memory to a song is a very powerful thing, because the moment you hear the song, everything comes rushing back. And what I always say is parang that campaign was real, and nobody can take that away from us. And that song is a reminder that campaign is real, and the reminder that the campaign was real gives some people some kind of hope, because the song no longer represents just Ma'am Leni as a person. It represents the hope that we felt during those months. So I think that's why the song still has an effect on people.
Nika, curious lang, bakit rosas yung napili mong flower or like symbol in the song?
Well, yung roses in the song is more the color than the flower.
Yeah.
Kasi wala pa actually yung kulay rosas ang bukas nung sinulat ko yun eh. It was the Tagalog of pink, and parang, I mean...
Talaga? I didn't know that. I always thought roses red.
Actually, ngayon ko lang siya na-realize.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
So, kasi, nung time na yun na may pink campaign na eh. Like, parang, I just knew I wanted to write a song from her point of view, and I wanted the title to be Rosas, because Rosas was the Tagalog of pink. So, at that time, I didn't know the concept yet. But when it came about, di ba, parang, I used the word in a different way, na parang I used it in the phrase rose-colored glasses, na parang you don't see, like you have this illusion that everything's fine and everything's good, and parang like yun yung ano dun sa song, na parang she doesn't see the world through rose-colored glasses, and she doesn't like promote that, kasi there are politicians who like overpromise, underdeliver. They promise you the world and then give you nothing. She knows exactly what she can do, and she's very upfront about that, and she's very direct in what she can and cannot provide, and how she can and cannot serve for the people. So parang, I mean, yun nga, I just saw that as an interesting concept to explore, because yun, it represents who she is. So
yeah.
Nika,
nung nagawa mo yung Rosas, I think you mentioned 2 days. Ay, tama ba? 2 days mo lang ata ginawa. Or yung kay
that
Leni
was
yun?
kay Leni Tayo. Rosas, I wrote that in less than an hour, I think. Kasi,
Oh my...
Wow!
it was just...
Wow!
What?
Mga 1 a.m. And it was just nga, parang for lack of a better term, tinopak lang ako 1 evening.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I was about to ask, did you consult Leni about it? Did you...
They had
Wala
no
pala,
idea
no?
I was writing it.
Right.
Parang
Siguro,
inisip ko, wouldn't the jingle be easier to write, diba? Versus a full-fledged song, diba?
The jingle was harder for me to write because there was pressure there. Kasi I knew people were waiting for it, and sila Sir Edwin it was to help Sir Edwin's movement, and it was their directive. So parang I can't mess this up.
Yeah.
Like Rosas had no consequences because nobody was expecting it, and nobody asked for it. Which is why I was also hesitating to release it, because like nobody asked for this. Like, does anybody wanna hear this? Parang ganun. So
would you think that, or would you parang in a metaphor sense, no? Would you think that Leni was a satisfied client when she read Rosas? Kasi 'di ba, I'm sure nagsasubmit ka rin ng mga passes mo sa mga clients mo, right?
Yeah.
Would you think that she was satisfied when she read it?
I hope so. I mean, I don't think that she's like any other client, mostly because she didn't ask for it. It was almost a gift na parang.
Oo nga, no?
I mean, she's a very good person. So feeling ko kung hindi siya natuwa, hindi rin niya sasabihin sa akin. But I'd like to think na, I mean, she always said nga na parang it always made her cry, and And even like the new verse, parang ganon. And parang, when she was doing one of her Facebook lives, parang nag-shout out siya na parang, alam mo, kinakanta ko, tinatry ko pa rin yung kantahin yung Rosas, hindi ko talaga magawa. Like, so, I'd like to think that she liked it.
I think, Nica, earlier, ang dami mong sinabi that the opportunities it brought you. Now you get free cheese breads, right? Now you get, right? Now you get restaurants playing your song for you. Can you take us naman para sa mga ka-offbeat namin that wants to aspire to become like a songwriter, no? Ano naman yung mga challenges, right? Or talaga bang 1 hour wonder lang siya, no? And
yeah.
then
I think the biggest challenge of being a songwriter is, yun nga, parang in this country talaga, jobs in the creative field aren't that supported, aren't that stable. We don't have things like benefits or insurance and stuff like that. We don't have a steady income. Parang, which is why I have a part-time job, which I don't think a lot of people know. I have a
Ooh,
part-time
interesting.
remote job for a US real estate company.
Awesome.
Oh.
Wow.
Because
Cool.
and yun parang, because I can't, like, yun nga, I have an anxiety disorder, so I really can't stand a lot of instability in my life. And I mean, I'm doing fine naman as a songwriter. I just need something that has, I just need a
Structure.
steady stream of income, and I need structure then, because being a songwriter is full of instability and ano na parang,
I know, for
none
sure.
of my days are the same if you take out my part-time job. So parang, sometimes it takes me less than an hour to write. Sometimes it takes weeks.
So interesting.
Yeah, especially with corporate clients, diba? Parang
Right.
with jingles and stuff like that. Sometimes it takes us 5 to 10 drafts of the same thing, and sometimes you can't. Sometimes the project falls through and ang dami mo nang tinabaho tapos hindi siya matutuloy. Stuff like, so parang I really learned how to let go or to not be so attached to the things I create.
Yeah.
Kasi I won't survive emotionally or mentally if I keep being if I don't know how to let go. Kasi like yun nga, sometimes you just have to scrap something completely. And sometimes you write something for something else and they don't push through for one reason or another, and you just have to like accept it. And I needed to learn or to ingrain it in myself na parang I can always write more. Parang it's not, hindi naman ako mauubusan ng like unless my brain shuts off. like I can always write more, and if this doesn't work out, dyan lang muna siya. And we've had a history of like, you know, there are some songs that don't push through and then find another song, find another use for it. Like, I mean, one good example is one of my songs called Tahanan. It was supposed to be for one of the artists in Viva when we were still working with Viva, and her album didn't push through, and I fell in love with the song, and it was just there, and parang it's fine. That's not pushing through, but I'm pretty sure there's still another use for that song. And yun nga, when my plans for the EP came, and I included the song, and then the song got used in a series, and the series exploded, and the song became known with it. So ayun, it's a very hard, chaotic job that honestly doesn't fit well with my brain, because I like routine and boring and monotony, which is why I have the part-time job. But it's never boring, that I can say that.
Kami ni Matt, umaalis kami sa gustong-gusto namin umalis dito sa structure.
I know.
Structure na to. Si Nica gusto talagang
I mean, hindi ko rin kaya yung like corporate na
yun
routine.
lang.
Yun lang. Mamamatay yung ano ko. Like parang my therapist told me na parang you can't live not doing the thing you're passionate about. Yun nga,
Wow.
There's a fire daw inside me that I can't put out. So parang I have pero it's never easy. Parang I have friends who, I have friends in the corporate industry, and we would meet up and they would be like, buti ka pa, ganyan, when they would complain about their jobs. And parang, I mean, you guys make more money than me, so there's that. Like, like take that, kasi like, this isn't a financially stable job. And a lot of people, I mean, even like Bo Jam's our head producer, and he's one of the most prolific producers in the country now, and he works in their family business also.
Wow.
Parang, it's
kailangan
just
talaga.
I mean, it's just parang it's just a safe thing na parang just para lang sigurado na ano. I mean,
Mm.
I have so much respect for people who don't have a fallback, and especially for people who are like successful enough to like. But I guess for me, parang I just feel safer in my brain if I have
Yeah.
if I have that. I mean,
Yeah.
the dream is to like eventually, just keep writing songs for extended day writing songs and not have to do that. But like, okay lang naman.
Well, Nika, actually, yung Tahanan, maganda rin yung song na yun. I just want to just add this comment, no? Kasi parang may ano rin siya. May part na it's like a wordplay on tahan na.
Yeah.
Tapos I like it. So this came from my cousin, no. She also kind of writes songs on the side, but she was wondering like how would you kind of like recommend aspiring songwriters or singers to kind of like maybe pursue music careers like you said na you're doing it
Mm.
part-time, no?
Mm.
Parang for these aspiring people who want to get into music, would you say na they should like ease into it? Like, paano ba yun? Parang should they kind of like have this part-time setup coming on or what?
Siguro, I mean, what really helped for me is being open to collaborate with people and, meeting all of these people. And kasi, one thing leads to another talaga eh, and you never know with people. I mean, I don't like socializing. I have like, I'm very introverted, but I love working in a team. I love working in FilpMusic and collaborating with our producers and kasi they bring something out of you that you didn't realize. Parang nga no, mas maganda pa like they bring out something in your songs na you don't realize is there. And parang I got into the industry through my OJT in Ateneo. Like that was my first step, and it was but it wasn't like if when I was telling people, it wasn't much. It was an unpaid internship in a very small record label na parang startup, and it doesn't sound very impressive, but it was something, and it helped me hone my craft, and I learned how to use the software there. I learned how to write over music and beats that are already created na, and that led me to meeting si Marcus Davis, another prolific producer here in the Philippines, and I ended up writing for Christian Bautista nung fourth year ako in college because of that network, because of that team. So I think it's a good idea to ease into it, but also keep on learning, keep on. I'm not saying you have to study or I mean it doesn't hurt to invest in classes and stuff like that.
Right.
But if you
Yeah.
don't have the resources for it, it's a very creative job. There's no like one formula. Like whatever works for you works for you. Kaya parang sometimes people ask me like what should come first, the music or the lyrics? Parang there's no answer. Like there's no right answer to that because it really
Grabe.
like there's no clear path, there's no formula, or like parang wala siyang recipe na kailangan mong sundan because you find it for yourself kung ano yung nag-work for you. So if you talk to people in the industry, and yun nga, just I think one of people usually ask me what my advice is for people who want to pursue it, and one of my biggest most important things is yun nga, to be open to collaboration and to
Yeah.
never stop learning, and to not be attached to your songs because sometimes they don't work out,
Oh,
and that's
Yeah.
okay because the songwriting is in you, it's not in your songs, and they can't take that away from you even if your songs
wow.
don't work out.
Grabe yun. Do you ever, Nika, do you ever take creative breaks like any other writer? Like, uy, dapat alis muna ako ngayon, nature muna ako ngayon para dumami yung inspiration ko.
It's
Do you
just
do that?
yun yung problema ko. I don't realize it until I desperately need it, and I'm just dying. I mean we take vacations naman, and parang sometimes when I write something and I'm exhausted and parang in my head it's like ang pangit-pangit na to, I don't know how to fix it. The usual solution to that is to go to sleep, and then the next day I wake up and listen to it. Parang ano yung pala siya pangit? I was just exhausted. and I just needed a break. So I think that it's really important for people in the creative industry to learn to recognize when they need a break and to take it even if it means losing. And because some people think taking breaks is losing money or losing opportunities or losing jobs, but I mean your
Napakaganda.
mental health is more important than
Exactly.
a single job. Kasi yun nga, if you take care of your brain and you take care of yourself, the jobs will keep coming and opportunities will keep coming. So
Okay. Well, Nika, I mean like just to kind of like preface no, yung first part sinabi mo na you're an emotional songwriter. Tapos biglang nagulat ako na you're saying don't like don't invest too much
yeah,
because it might go away. Parang
I learned that the hard way talaga. As in, ang dami kong iniyakang failed projects and stuff. Pero wala
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna survive if ano. So my emotions are for the lyric, for writing lang. But when it comes to like handling the songs and stuff like that, I can't. Yun nga, parang kasi I think yun din yung tendency if you're an artist or if you're a creator talaga. Syempre, like that's your baby. It came from you.
Oo.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I've been writing for I'm writing for 11 years now. So like I mean, it takes a while, but like at this point I realized na parang sa dami ng sinulat ko, if this doesn't work out, I mean, it's just one song compared to the others that came before it and the others that will come after it. So it's fine.
Ang ganda. Ang ganda.
what kind of artists do you base your sound around? Would you say is the most closest to like do you have a songwriter that you idolize and kind of like play around with their kind
Yeah.
of like styles? Yeah.
I have a lot talaga. Parang when I was in high school, college, I listened to a lot of yung mga indie singer-songwriters like Sarah Bareilles, Ingrid
Ooh.
Michaelson. I love Damien Rice. Magaling siya magpaiyak, 'di ba? So like that was inspiration for me. And yun nga, like local musicians like Ebe and Bolet and Janoy and Up Dharma Down. Like when I was in college, everyone was into Up Dharma Down.
Yeah.
Parang so yun all these musicians that Coldplay, I love how they all these musicians that convey emotion well. Sila yung who I looked up to and siguro I mean indirectly got influenced by.
Nika, we always end our offbeat episode no with this question no. Syempre we did this podcast yun nga for our fellow corporate guys, 'di ba? Na alam mo yun konting nudge lang siguro just to pursue their passions, their life interest, 'di ba? Para sa what can corporate professionals right now like me and Matt learn from your career, your story, your everything that you told us today as a singer-songwriter?
Siguro one thing I guess you guys can learn from our side of the world is parang I know it feels like our fields are very very different. Like sa core of it, parang you mas may structure kayo, mas may instability kami, but parang but I think at the end of the day, not like it's not all that different in the sense na parang we are all just trying to like find fulfillment in our lives and in our work, and we're just trying to do the best work that we can do. And because I mean medyo sad na parang I've had my share of corporate people telling me na parang buti ka pa parang naglalaro ka lang sa trabaho mo. And meron talagang mistaken notion in like some people in the corporate industry na parang creative jobs are just fun and creative parang kasi
Super
people
true.
think it's just singing and playing guitar and parang to
Super
them
true.
it's kasi I understand naman kasi it's the stuff we do is they are things that people who have corporate jobs do for fun, like painting, dancing, acting, and yun nga, and making music, but this is what we do all the time. And this is what we invest in it, we try to be better at it, and that is why people like we have to justify why people pay us to do it when some people do it for fun. This is actually what we need to we need to be excellent at it for it to be considered a career and a job.
Exactly.
So it's
Wow.
so parang unfortunately hindi kami parang naglalaro lang. It's very tiring and it's very hard work. Even like parang dancers, hindi sila parang sumasayaw lang. Kasi
That's true.
people equate dancing to fun. But dancers take hours and hours of training and choreography, and they invest a lot of their they invest their bodies and their time and effort. So it's not at the very core of it, people are just people doing their jobs. And even if the structures are different, even if the lifestyles are different, we're all just trying to do the best that we can do. So we should learn how to. I mean, speaking for both fields, we should learn how to empathize with people, even if they're a little
Yeah.
different from us. So
Yeah. Parang yun din nga yung nare-realize namin ni Matt ngayon. Yeah, before we had that notion din na parang
yeah,
content creator, sabi nila, ang laki daw na makikita mo sa
yeah.
YouTube, di ba? Oh, monetize,
Nako,
monetize.
may
Fucking hell, it's so
nakakapagod
hard.
ang
Yeah.
nakakapagod ang content create. I mean, people saying, ano pa YouTube, like, vlogging, madali lang yan. It's like, I watch them talk into their phones and edit videos for hours. That's not, parang they're doing
Sobra.
like 3 jobs
Sobra.
at once. So
Yeah.
parang, like,
Yeah.
I would never want to be a content creator.
You know, I would even argue that corporate is easier than being on our side. But okay, I'm in both worlds, but
Yeah.
at least from my point of view, mas nahihirapan pa ako dito sa side natin ngayon na art and all of these things. Because it's just, yun nga, sabi mo nga kanina walang stability di ba?
Yeah.
Walang syllabus to tell you where to go and what to do next, right? Yeah, I think that's about it. Nica, thank you for taking us off the beaten path. Can you let people know where you are right now and what you're excited about?
I am writing songs for some artists, so that's exciting. Parang me and Bojam have a song coming up for a P-pop group that we're very, very excited about because it's gonna release very soon. And sa personal level, I am writing something. Well, parang actually tapos na siya. So we're just finalizing it because I'm teaming up with an animal shelter called Potion Project, and I'm writing a song about animal rescue, and
That's just so nice. Yeah.
so ayun, sana when it comes out, hopefully people like it and it helps people. I mean, what Rosas taught me is like I can actually help or influence people with my music, and hopefully with this song it helps people be like to adopt more, and it helps rescue animals more. So
speaking of Rosas, when can we hear you or where can we hear you play that song again? Meron ka bang upcoming gigs na? Kasi I have to admit di ko pa naririnig yung Rosas live from you mismo.
Oh, same.
Meron ka bang pa-teaser dyan na
kasi yung mga upcoming gigs ko are all like private events. So, as much as I
Come
wanna invite you,
on.
parang nagkaroon na ng thing where people invite me to sing Rosas at their birthday parties, at their weddings.
Really?
Wow, grabe yung birthday.
Yeah, parang I had a gig. I had 2 na ata na I sang at a birthday party. And then there's one na it's a celebration because she passed the bar exam. So, these are people who were very attached to the campaign, and I guess they wanted to recreate the magic of the campaign. So,
yeah.
Uy, kailan birthday niyo?
Naman kailangan birthday if you want but I mean, people can follow me on like social media, and I usually announce when my next gigs are. So.
Yeah. Definitely. I kind of want to cry at it in a live show. In a live show, I kind of want to cry at it, no.
Yeah.
Nica, anyone that wants to contact you, sabi nga for birthdays, for graduations, or for
Binyag,
if they just want to feel binyag, or if they just want to feel hopeful, diba? How can they contact you?
They can email me like you guys did. And sa LinkedIn pala kayo. Which I found so funny. They can email me at Nica del Rosario at FilpMusicPH.com, or they can call 0917-880-3547. That's Flip Music's number. And they can look for Willen, who's our project coordinator. So siya yung nag-handle ng my gigs and stuff. So
awesome. And in 1 to 2 sentence, Nica, what for you is taking the off-beaten path?
I guess taking the off-beaten path for me is going for what you want and what makes you happy regardless of what other people think, which is not as easy as movies make it seem.
Yeah. Hindi iyak-iyak lang, no? At nandun ka na sa off-beaten path mo.
Successful ka na agad.
Right? I mean, everyone hopes it's as easy as that, right? Anyways, mga ka-offbeat, thank you again for listening to our show. If you liked our show, follow us as well in Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, and YouTube for exclusive content. That's at the Project Offbeat. Kita-kits again in the next episode, and here's to taking the offbeat, the beaten path. Thanks, guys, and have a great night. Thank you.
Thank you.